Now, but those industries, if you look at the beverage industry, grew massively because we actually Nigerialized ourselves when it comes to drinks and when it comes to beverage. Today, the investment in the beverage industry is growing massively. I know a factory that opened last year that cost 5 billion. It was by a South American company coming into Nigeria, not with a 500 million investment. Their first inroad was 5 billion. So people will not come into your beverage industry if you do not have a strong industry that, one, they can compete with, that the standard you already have is already high enough. You will not have people like Coca-Cola trying to buy into other competing industries when they have five alive. Now, Five Alive, and I'll give you a good example, and this is a true experience. The same thing happened to this Just Juice. This same company is owned by, the conglomerate is called, I think, there's another conglomerate that owns Just Juice. At the time when they were doing the initiative where the government said no importation of packaged drinks, do you know what that person that was in charge of Africa told me personally? And I sat with this gentleman, this Italian nice man. And I said, please, I think we should go manufacturing Just Juice locally. And he came to Nigeria, had a meeting with us. And do you know his reaction? He said, we've heard it before. We'll go and bring it in through Benin Republic for now. Because Nigeria is not consistent in its policy and they will stop it after a while. So why should we invest our time and money into producing Just Juice locally? Today, Just Juice doesn't exist because that guy took that initiative. If policies that are taken at the time are taken very seriously, we will not have developed our own local industry as we have. If you look at toothpaste, who buys foreign toothpaste? At a point in my life, I too, if I don't say Colgate, I will. But today, I don't use anything more than Close-Up. So if we have to change our mindset because the standard starts getting higher. Because in those days, all we also of Close-Up was the red one. Today you have the herbal meat, you have so many different varieties. It's a choice issue. Now, but they couldn't create those choices because we encouraged these imports so much that they couldn't invest in substitutes or options. So you have a case of encouraging local taste through actual investment. But the investment means we must also create variety. You know, if the manufacturers themselves don't start creating variety, taste is an individual issue. Now, I might like this type of paste, the other person might like another type of paste. But if they're not given the options and the competition don't create those options, we have a taste bud issue. But to say that Nigerians are not investing time in quality, and I'll give you another example, because maybe I see this and I go to a lot of industries. I looked at it, there's another investment that's gone into making sausage rolls recently by a company called Right Food. They've been in the market for about 6 years. The name we all knew before was the UAC brand called Gala. Fantastic manufacturers also. But over time, you started seeing other brands. Now, before you knew it, the other brands started creating just not the meat Gala. You started having apple flavor. You started having different brands. And before you knew it, these guys are now making investments inroad into the market that is so massive. I went to their factory because I tend to visit a lot of factories. I think my time meeting a lot of people, I'm meeting the industries, I actually visit. And you look at the automation in this factory. And I actually went to that factory by Right Food in Ososa. And they didn't even do it in Lagos. They took it to Ososa, which was, I think
so that means they're creating jobs there. They're opening up that area.
They opened up the area. They had to build staff quarters for 150 people, Nigerians of their own. They had to create massive land. They turned it into a massive factory. Full German automated. First time I saw someone make sausage rolls that start and finish at the other end. But I was proud to be a Nigerian entering that factory, although I'm into a different industry. But you enter that factory and you could think, what could you say is not international about this? And so, where they started from and where they are now 6 years after is a very different ballgame entirely. So now they're looking at servicing the whole country, they're looking at export. Export is not impossible. I have done export. We have done exports to, especially West Africa. We are 180 million, 160 to 180 million people. We ourselves a business on our own. But the more you increase the size of the capacity you have locally, the possibilities, and I've been to some other countries. I was in Ghana 2 days ago, and I was shocked at the price difference between even the Nigerian price and the Ghanaian price. It was almost 20%. I asked myself, why am I not exporting? Because the gap was just so much. So, because Nigeria, you cannot get those prices because now we have competition. Competition is increasing in almost every industry. But the only thing we keep saying to the government is encourage it to happen. Encourage these companies to set up 5 billion naira factories. Encourage, because they can't carry the factories back with them easily. They put that money in place. Now, but what we shouldn't do is discourage the investment. I discourage, sometimes we all shout this word, FDI, FDI, foreign direct investment. I discourage short-term ones. Long-term ones, please encourage it as much. Short-term ones that are talking about treasuries, they're talking about bonds, buying government bonds, those are catastrophic when they believe your country is having a problem. They pull out their money as quickly as they brought it in. Now, I was talking to an MD of a bank recently. We were talking about devaluation. And he said, look at what happened in 2005, 2006, where there was so much FDI. Nobody went to CBN to buy Forex because there was just so much Forex, billions of dollars coming into the stock market, into the bonds market, that nobody went to it was cheaper to go into bank than go to the government for money. So now, but what was the side effect of that? The day they all saw calamity in 2008, 2009, the stock market crashed because they all pulled out their money. So we should not also be driving foreign direct investment into short-term growth. We need it in real sector, be it industry or agriculture, to encourage this stability. And
okay. Before I come back to you to close, we're out of time. Let me go back to Mr. Mesalo. Mr. Mesalo, as we wind down, what particular areas of policy would you say government should look at immediately?
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's to, like I said earlier on, are you with me?
Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
The issue providing succor for the manufacturing industries, and also looking at the policies from the paradigm of the way it pays off on the total, on the nation, on the economy, and also for the government itself. Now, like I said earlier on, the paradigm has changed, things have changed. Companies have to improve, they have to increase capacity, they have to get lower costs, and government has to come in at this point. We hear every day that tax should be raised from everybody and the industries. That is very good because that will help our income. But first of all, we must look at what to do to ensure that the industries, the sectors that will help the growth of the manufacturing sector are taken over by government by making policies like interest rates. I think they have to drop. We cannot survive with 27% and exchange rate of 300. It will not work. You can't, that has to be seriously looked into, and also the issue of foreign goods coming in has to be, controlled and corrected. And also the efficiency of the ports, because the delay you get from getting your raw materials in, they affect cost. Now, as for quality, I want to please plead with Nigerians to be patient. Industries evolve everywhere in the world. Now, there are Nigerian industries that compete even better. For example, the cable companies in Nigeria, most of them are better than what you find even outside Nigeria. All the other multinationals doing business here, they've evolved here in Nigeria, and they're doing good quality products. So the people may say that quality is bad. Of course, when somebody has just started in an industry, he has to adjust and produce and earn income to improve. So that has to be borne by the people. You know, but I think all this is because we have acquired the taste already over the years. It's time for change. Things have to change. The dress I'm putting on was made in Nigeria. I mean, sewn in Nigeria. The lines are perfectly straight. It didn't used to be like that. People have evolved. The fabrics, I mean, what people wear nowadays, they are very good, very well prepared, very well sewn, and very well made. And we are attracted to them, even better than the suits. So it will happen in every sector. After time, over time, it will evolve, there'll be growth. But what I would say, government must step in now, not to see us as manufacturers on one side and government on the other side. We have to come to the same side, sit together, and look at how to make things better for the populace. And I'm confident that in the next few years, it will be a different story. You know, people will enjoy high-quality products. There must be internal competition. It must be encouraged. That will improve standards, you know, improve quality. Thank you.
For the government to continue to have quantitative easing. Quantitative easing meaning that they need to ease the cost of funds, and whatever quantitative easing they want to, whether 100 billion, 500 billion, we shouldn't sit on it. We need to make sure it's disbursed. We need to make sure it adds value, and especially for the industrial sector. And if they're able to continuously do that, you force growth in the same industry that will give them a guarantee of that employment and that earning they're looking for.
All right, thank you very much. We've been speaking with Mr. George Onofokan, Managing Director of Coleman Wires and Cables. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And from our Abuja studios, we had Odun Emaselu, Vice Chairman, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Abuja Chapter, and MD of Interior Woodwork Limited. Thank you for joining us. Sunrise will be back in a moment. Please don't go away.